Hello, very good morning. Children, today I will start new topic, and this topic is very much related to the transportation. As you completed the transportation of food, absorption of water, absorption of sap in the plants, and in that segment, the new topic today I will explain the translocation of food. Very first, in the plants, how does this food is transported? Why there is one term, the translocation? So when you start the transportation of food, you have to understand that the food is prepared in the leaf. You know that the photosynthesis process takes place in the leaf. Glucose is produced, starch is produced in the leaf, and that leaf, when it prepares the carbohydrate, when it prepares the starch, when it prepares the solutes, so that solutes transported from leaf to other part of the body, and that is why the location of the food is going to be changed from one place to another. Like when I am telling you, the leaf is a source, leaf is a site where the food is prepared, and that food is going to be translocated. I mean, it would be the transported from leaf to other part of plant where the food is not present, where the percentage of food glucose is less. So passively it is going to be transported from one place to another, and that is why it is known as the translocation. The transportation of solute from one part to another part is called translocation. When I was explaining the translocation, the transportation of water, absorption of water, ascent of sap, there was one tissue for the transportation of water. The xylem tissues were important, the xylem tissues were involved, but on the other hand, the translocation of food is done with the help of phloem tissue. So all this explanation, all this lecture would be very much dependent, would be based on this phloem tissue. So when we start the translocation of food in the plant, which is very, very important, before that explanation, you have to understand the conducting tissue. Once again, the phloem. Xylem was involved in the translocation of transportation of water and mineral, but on the other hand, phloem. Okay, so when we talk about the phloem, in the phloem, you have to see there are 4 elements in the phloem, right? What 4 elements? Is xylem, phloem seed tubes. Number 1, there are 4 elements. You have to remember this. Phloem seed tubes. Number 2, companion cells. Number 3, fiber, and number 4, parenchyma. As you already noticed that the fiber and parenchyma are the common in the xylem and in the phloem. I am sure that you have noticed these elements of phloem. So number 3 is fiber, number 4 is so when we are talking about the phloem seed tube, phloem fiber, phloem parenchyma, phloem companion cells, so out of these 4, there would be 2 tissues would be involved in this, and that would be the seed tube and companion cells. Now when the food, the glucose is going to be translocated, moving from one place to another place. So when there is involvement of the tissue, you must see the structure of the tissue. So when we start the explanation, before that the transverse section of phloem is very important. When you will able to see the diagram of phloem, then the doubt would be clear. Okay, so let us draw the structure of phloem. Yes, so I'm going to write the transverse section of phloem. Sieve plate, okay, these sieve plates are transporting the food. They allow the food materials, glucose materials, to pass through it. Sieve tubes, you have seen the sieving equipment for the filtration of the tea. So this type of structure you are getting sieve plate is there, and perforated sieve tube is there, and this structure is known as sieve tube. So sieve tube contain no nucleus. You look at this is sieve tube, and these are the companion cells. And it contains nucleus. Sieve tube contains no nucleus, and the companion cells are containing the nucleus. Look at this darker color structure, and you see here, look at, these are the structure. Look at this. So there are these labelings through which I will explain. So when we are going to draw the structure of the transverse section of phloem, which is involved in the translocation of food, you have to see these structure. Can you see here? These are the sieve tubes, look at, without nucleus, and these are the companion cells, which is septate, which is containing the, look at this, the companion cells. Now, when I was explaining about the transportation of water, absorption of water, it was unidirectional, but the translocation of food is bidirectional. It means, suppose when the glucose is prepared in the leaf with the help of photosynthesis, this carbohydrate is prepared in the leaf. This leaf will transport the food upward also and downward also. That is why the food is translocated in the bidirectional. In the bidirection is upward and downward. Clear? On the other hand, the xylem was, when you will explain, the xylem was transporting the water from the downside to upside. Only it was unidirectional. The flow of the transportation of the water was unidirectional from the root to the upward. But here it is going to be transported in the bidirectional. In the bidirection, upward and downward. Clear? So when we are going to explain the physiology, explain the working of this translocation of food, I will explain through one theory only, and the name of theory is mass flow theory. Through the mass flow theory, you can easily explain the translocation of food. In this mass flow theory, when I am telling on the basis of diffusion process, you can easily understand that passively when the food is prepared in the leaf, leaf is a source which is preparing the food, which is producing the food, and then this food will be automatically transported from its higher region to its lower concentration region without any passive energy. There is no need of energy for the translocation of food. Automatically it will be diffused from its higher region to its lower region. Okay, there would not be extra requirement of energy in the form of ATP. There would not be required. When I am going to explain through the mass flow theory, it is moving from its higher region to its lower region. Got my point? So there would be need of this flowing. That when the food is moving through which organ? What is the structure of the sieve plate? You see here, the sieve plate is bound, the upper part is covered through the perforated plate. You can see these are the perforated plate. And there are small pores you can look at. Through these pores, the food is going to be filtered out. This glucose would be moving from this upper side and downside. So the sieve tubes, which is covered through the sieve plate, see the perforated pores are there, perforated plates are there, and these pores will allow the food materials to pass through it. And as you notice that through the mass flow theory, where the percentage of glucose is more, where the percentage of starch, carbohydrate is more, automatically it will pass through the sieve tubes, and there would be companion cells which is surrounding the sieve tubes. Look at this. These are the companion. These are the companion cells, and there would also be the perforation process. There would be the translocation, the transportation of the food from its higher region to its lower region. So when I was explaining, I would like to take you back in the absorption of water. I did explain the transpiration pull theory, cohesive and adhesive force theory, and root pressure, osmotic pressure theory. But here, in this mass flow of the translocation of food, there is only one diagram would be required. Sometimes it could be asked in the examination that how does this translocation of food is completed in the plants, and which tissues are involved in this translocation. Because out of 4 elements, I am just going to focus that the number 1, phloem sieve tubes, and number 2, phloem companion cells. These 2 elements of the phloem are very, very much involved in this translocation of food. So there would not be 2-3 theories through which you have to prove, like in the transportation of water, absorption of water, ascent of sap, you have proved very well because of the transpiration pull, root pressure, and cohesive force, adhesive force. The unbreakable column is continued. But on the other hand, the translocation of food is comparatively easier through the mass flow theory, and through this diagram you can easily explain this location of food. Why this term is there? Translocation? Because the solute substances are going to be transported from one place to another place. That is why the transfer of food means translocation. The location of the food is going to be changed. Where the food is prepared, suppose the source, like this is the source and this is sink. So there would be question that what is source? The leaf is the site of source, the leaf is the site for the preparation of the food, and the other part which is utilizing the food, these area are called sink. So source is the site where the food is prepared, and other part which are utilizing the food, they are called sink. So it is not very tough thing. So when you have to start the translocation of food, very first 3 responsibility would be there, that you have to remember the element, the phloem element. There would be 4 elements, as I told you: phloem seed tube, phloem companion, phloem fiber, and phloem parenchyma. Out of these 4, the 2 tissues are very much involved in the translocation of food, and these number 3 and 4th, they are not involved. They are further providing rigidity and providing strength. Okay, so when we start, we have to see the first thing, the elements of the phloem, 4 elements. The second thing is structure. Structure or transverse section of the phloem, where you will see the perforated plate. Look at this structure or perforated plate, and the perforated plate and C plate is there. Okay, and this structure you can see, this without nucleus, anucleated structure is called sieve tubes. When I am talking about sieve tube, there is no nucleus. Anucleate sieve plate, sieve tube is there, which will definitely help the translocation of food. On the other hand, the companion cell, which is with nucleus, and this will also help in the translocation of food. So in the second part, you will understand the transverse section of phloem. The first thing you will understand this, and the third and last one, the mass flow theory, through which you can easily understand, through the mass flow theory, how the food is moving from one part where it is synthesized to other part where there is no food. So automatically, by the concentration, by the difference in concentration, it is going to be translocated from one place to another. So there would be 3 component of this topic. The first component, element of phloem, through which you have to explain. Second would be the transverse section of phloem, you have to draw this, and the third one is the theory, mass flow theory, through which you have to explain. Now coming to the last segment, as it is a small topic, I am going to give you the assignment question, right? So I am going to give you 5 questions for the assignment. Write the name of elements of phloem tissues right? Define translocation. Draw the structure of transverse section of leaf. Draw the TS of phloem. Draw the structure of TS of phloem, or you can write draw the transverse section of phloem. Draw the It is very important in the transverse section. You have to draw the structure. And the fourth one, explain the mechanism of transport of translocation of food in the plants. Okay, or you can write, if there would be question that explain mass flow theory of the transportation of food. Explain mass flow theory for the transportation of food. Explain mass flow theory of transportation of food. Okay, so the answer would be same, whether it is the transportation mechanism of food, or whether it is asked that how you can explain the transportation of food through the mass flow theory. So these question would be assignment for you. You have to write in your fair notebook, anywhere you can write. So first would be the name of element, the xylem, the phloem seed tube, phloem companion, phloem fiber, and phloem parenchyma. The second one, the translocation, the transportation of solutes from one place. Solutes means dry matter. The transportation of the glucose or carbohydrate, you can write, from one place to another place in the plants is called translocation, right? Draw this transverse section TS of phloem. You have to draw in that diagram. You have to label. At least 4 labelings are very much required. The seed tube, perforated plate, okay, companion cells, and nucleus. And after that, the very important step, the very important segment of this translocation of food, which is bidirectional. It is not unidirectional, like you must remember. There would be question that why it is bidirectional, because the leaf could be always, it is not at the tip side, it is not at the apical region, at the top side, it is at parallel side. So it can transfer the food upward and downward also. Okay. So with the help of mass flow theory, you can easily explain. That's all, dear student. I would be meeting with the new modules, with the new contents next day. Thank you.